Hey, what's going on? Welcome to our second episode of Kamp Nexx podcast, Kamp Nexx TV. I'm your boy, your host, Double O. TP, is still not here. He actually had to go to a funeral. I told him the dude's still gonna be dead tomorrow, so who cares? You know what I mean? We could do the podcast today and you go to the funeral tomorrow, but he didn't think that was funny. so we'll just deal with me. We're gonna call this one Freestyle Friday. Don't really have a topic today, but I definitely wanted to put something on. And my boy film guy Chris, who you know does all my podcasts, he was on my bumper a little bit, say, yo, you wanna shoot something? And I can't turn him down because right now, what he charging me for these podcasts, I can't beat, which is free. so I can't turn that down. So again, Kamp Nexx Entertainment. I'm your host, your boy Double O. TP will be here next week. If he's not here next week, then he's gonna be the next one in the fucking casket, and we'll do the podcast from the funeral. so look forward to seeing him. I'm not even sure. I know he got a show that he has to do out of town. So he may not be here now that I think about it. But anyway, last time we was talking about the film guy Chris, who, if you saw my first podcast, he did what I think is an amazing job. A lot of my friends got a chance to see it. They told me about the content and the way he shot it. And he's a white guy. He's not from New York. And he shot that shit like he knew the story of Alpo, which was, I call it the elephant in the room. He shot it, when I got it, I went, whoa. Because a lot of that stuff that he put in the video, I didn't even tell him to do. You know what I'm saying? All the content that I talked about was me, but all the extra stuff, you know, the music, cut into different caption pictures, he did all of that. So I was very, 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 very impressed, and everybody that I showed the video to was pretty impressed with it too. Even people that kind of knew Alpo's story, they said, wow, y'all kind of captured the real essence of what that time was and who he was. And I think he did a great job. And I wanted to mention, I love giving a shout out to him because he's been good to me. So I'm very thankful for that. But I was going to tell the story of how we met, which I think is an interesting story because I live in Hollywood, and he was actually renting an Airbnb up here. So I'm sitting in the street waiting for a parking space. I wasn't sitting in the street, I was sitting in my truck, but my truck was in the street. And I was waiting for a parking space, and he was waiting for a parking space. And he was actually out there kind of before I got out there, but I'm smooth with it. So I knew where to position myself. So the first parking space that became available, I would be able to ride up on that and cut him off before he got to it so I could get the space. And he tried to back up. He had his dog in the car. He got a little dog. I think his dog's name is Mother. Cute little dog. Cute little dog, but I love all animals, so, you know, it could be an ugly dog, it wouldn't matter. So I pulled up a little bit to the place where I knew the person was coming to get the car because I seen how they was walking, and he didn't notice. So he backed up once he saw they was coming for the parking space to get in the car and pull their car out so he could pull in. He was like, dude, what's up? But before he got to I had a Nissan Armada at the time. And I had real dark windows. So I vape all the time. I hurry up. I saw him coming to the car. Like I see white guys, so I figured I could intimidate him a little bit. I start really puffing on the vape, so when I roll the window down, it looked like Snoop is in there. You know what I'm saying? And all the smoke and shit come out of the window. But, you know, I guess he grew up in a fucking hood or something, man, because he wasn't intimidated at all. And he was like, yo, what's up, man? He said, I was waiting for that space. I said, all right. Like, keep waiting. You know what I'm saying? I'll be pulling out tomorrow. Don't worry about it. You can have it then. Anyway, this fucking guy says to me, I'm trying to intimidate him, so I'm acting crazy and, you know, trying to be thug and all of that. And he was like, let me hit your vape. I was like, I was like, dude, I'm trying to scare you, and you talking about hitting my vape. So anyway, I actually gave him the space, which he was a little iffy about that because he was like, dude, you're not gonna do nothing in my car, right? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, nah, man, you cool. I could tell you cool, man. I didn't know he was a videographer. He blow trees. I hope that's okay to say. 'Cause I'm not sure if his family knows that. But he blow trees. So we sat out there. I let him hit the vape a couple times. We smoked the blunt, had a good time. And then he actually, my house, he didn't know where I lived because my house is around the corner. And one day somebody came and said, yo, there's somebody outside for you. And it was him. I was like, how the fuck did you find me? He said, I'm with the FBI. I'm just teasing. He just said, well, I know you were around here somewhere, and my house actually is the only house on this block. So it didn't take much to figure that part out. Anyway, like I said, that's how we met. I'm blessed to have my love you to death dog, you know, film guy Chris. If you have a project, you have something you need videotaped. I don't know if you could say videotaped or video done, a video shot, I guess we should say. I didn't actually post the video that I did on YouTube yet, or I put it on my Facebook page, but I didn't put it on YouTube, and I didn't put it on my website. So once I do that, I'm gonna have his credentials, all his information. You know, maybe he'll have some samples of stuff he's done on some of his social media that you can see in case you're interested. But yeah, check my man out. He's pretty dope, man, and he been good to me, man. So I'm just trying to reciprocate, and that's why I'm kissing up a little bit today. Kissing up to him. Today's Freestyle Friday, so I don't really have a topic. Next week, if the next time we shoot or next week, we're probably gonna do BMF. We talked about Alpo. We probably gonna do BMF. And those of you that don't know who BMF is, Black Mafia family, Big Meech, his brother, and the whole BMF crew. They from Atlanta. They was drug dealers. They was huge in Atlanta. I mean, these dudes used to go to the bar and just, when they go in the bar, there is no more champagne for anyone else. As soon as they go in the bar, they go, everything back there belong to us now. And if you was cool, you could drink with them for free. They're actually one of the ones responsible for Anthony Wolf Jones, who is Puffy's bodyguard. They had a beef. I'm not gonna say he was responsible for, but they had a beef in one of the clubs out there, one of the strip clubs. Some words went back and forth, and then next thing you know, guns came out and Anthony and his boy was dead. So they was never charged with that crime. So I want to get that on the record, let you know it's not actually on them, but most people think that they might have been responsible or had something to do with, or some of the people that are in their crew, because they had a huge crew, might have been responsible for that. And just to let you know, if you ever been to Atlanta, when they was really rolling, it's when you went to, the only person to ever do this is Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri, when he was really big, he had a billboard that said, welcome to Atlanta, home of So Def Records. And BMF had a billboard and it said, welcome to Atlanta, BMF owns Atlanta, or something like that, or something to that degree. So I think Jermaine Dupri at that time, and this is probably 10, 15 years ago, Jermaine Dupri said he was paying $1,000 a month for that billboard. He said he spent over $10,000 on that billboard, and BMF was doing it. They probably was paying $2,000 a month. So that was probably one of the things that got them in trouble too, because the FBI was like, what? BMF owns Atlanta. What is going on? You know? So again, today's Freestyle Friday. Thank you for checking me out. Wanted to talk about a couple of things. One is relationships. So relationships. relationships. People send me emails all the time, ask me questions, my point of view, ask me what I think about things. And most recently, I had a young lady that reached out to me and was talking to me about a relationship she was in. And she was telling me some of the things that she was doing in her relationship and how it was affecting her in a negative way because her partner, which is a guy, I say that because partner could mean female, want to be politically correct. Don't want the LBGT community coming at me. They fucking want to kill Dave Chappelle, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want that problem. So she was explaining to me some of the events, some of the things that was going on, some of the things she was doing, and how it was affecting her in a negative way and affecting her relationship in a negative way. And I told her, I said, well, here's the thing. Number one, in a relationship, you have to be careful because a lot of times you'll hear, especially women say, it isn't now like it was when we first started. And the reason is because when you meet a dude for the first time, you usually not meeting him, you usually meeting his representative. He's doing and saying all the things he thinks you want to hear so he can get in your pants. So what happens is that shit burns off. They get tired of doing all them things they was doing, jumping through hoops and acting crazy for you, and get comfortable. So that's one of the reasons why females, you as a female, if you're watching this, you might feel the same way. You might feel like your relationship is not the way it used to be. And part of the reason is because people change. They don't do the same things they did to get you. You know what I'm saying? Like when you give a dude some pussy, you ain't got no more bargaining chips. Until you give a dude some pussy, he gonna be acting real nice. As soon as you have sex with him, he gonna just, why don't you shake your ass home, man? It changes, right? So you gotta be careful of that. As a guy, I would share with you, try to be as true to who you are in the beginning so that a woman doesn't feel like she didn't hook up with the guy that she met. And a female has to understand that you have to continue to try to woo your man. I'm not saying a man shouldn't have to woo a woman. And when I mean woo, I mean dazzle her or dazzle him. But people, as the relationship gets older, they stop doing all the things that used to make their partner smile. They stop doing all the things that make them laugh and cry. Just make them happy. So, I see sometimes on TV, you'll have a guy like on The Sopranos, his wife gave him some birthday head. And that's the only time he get ahead. Look, anything in life that somebody wants that you don't want to do, they still want it. That's if it's a boss at a job or a spouse or a parent or a child, whatever it is they want. If you don't want to do it, they still want it. So if your man wants to get head, which I don't know a man that doesn't, I know some men that like men that get it from men, but I'm saying, if you don't want to give head to a man, he still wants head. Just know that. Know that. You know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of sexual things that we could talk about that we're going to keep this PG-13. So I'm not going to really go too far with that. But I'm saying anything that your man or your woman wants that you don't want to do, they still want it. God bless the dead. My father said to me one time, he said, you don't have to pay for pussy. You just got to pay to fuck by yourself. I'll never forget that. He said, because women like to be pampered. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to a female the other day, and I said, in order to take a girl on a date, you got to spend like $400 or $500 because you want to get her nails done, you want to get her hair done, you want to get her toes done, you want to have some money for her pocket or whatever. She said, you tripping. I said, what you talking about? She said, it's like $1,000 for all that. The hair alone is $4,000 to $6,000 to $1,000 for just what they call frontals or lace fronts. That hair alone can be anywhere from $4,000 to $1,000, probably more. Getting your nails done nowadays, when you get acrylic and you get tips and all of that crazy shit, you spending $100 to $200 getting your feet done. So all of these things add up. So you have to understand that if you dating a girl and you are spending time with her, you have to actually pamper her a little bit. Because if you one of these dudes that say, I don't pay for no fucking pussy, I don't give a bitch shit. Okay, somebody will. Somebody will. So that's important to understand and know. Outside of that, when you find a woman that has children, you accept the relationship, you accept the family. So if you one of these dudes that, you get a girl and she got kids and you don't want to be bothered with the kids, that's short-lived. That's probably not going to last, because a woman wants you to treat her kids with respect. She wants you to care about her kids. And equally, if not more important, she wants her kids to like you. And the last thing you want in the background is some girl's daughter going, why you keep having him come around here? And that will happen, especially with females. All right, I got 5 sisters. I know the deal. So you have to understand, when you get a woman that has a child, you adopt that family, not just that situation with that female. And that's for dudes too. If a dude has a kid and you don't like his spouse and you kind of take it out on the kid, that's short-lived. Because I know situations where that happens. The female does not like the guy's baby mother, or child's mother, I should say. I want a baby mama is kind of, what do you call that? Kind of disrespectful. But the spouse has to be accepting of the kids. That's very, 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 very important. Today, I mentioned that T.P. Hearn was on at a funeral. So we didn't have any Wingstop, so I'm a little bit irritable today. I really don't like not having Wingstop. That's the problem. But I'm going to go to Popeyes, so I'm going to be cool, because love that chicken from Popeyes. And nicely, I live in a nice neighborhood, so I probably won't have to fight to get a goddamn chicken sandwich, because, boy, I see why they fight for them. If you haven't had a chicken sandwich from Popeyes, you better stop playing around, because that's pretty good. Now, the one more thing we're going to cover is drugs. Man, I sold them for 20 years. I saw the devastation that drugs can bring to a family, the progressive nature of drugs. When I first started selling drugs, I was selling cocaine and selling heroin. This is all fictional. This ain't true, because I forgot this is on tape. So just know that this is not true, FBI agent. But yeah, I sold that. And then came along in the early 80s, came crack. Heroin, a lot of crackheads that were smoking crack and doing coke, because coke was a social drug. In the 70s, you can go in a bar and somebody have a bill on the bar and fingertail pink, put the coke in their nose and all of that. I myself never got into drugs, so I don't know that world. But they sniffed coke and shot heroin. And the people that I was selling to, when crack came along, they said that was the worst drug that ever came out. And I went, really? I mean, put a needle in your arm and that's not bad, They said, no, crack is way worse than heroin. Which, again, I can't say from personal experience. I know what kind of money I made off the shit, but I can't say from personal experience what those things feel like. And it's crazy, too, because I was sitting at the table one day dicing up some shit and bottling up some shit and all of that, counting money. And I was just thinking to myself, I said, the two things that I love probably the most are good food and pussy. And if you ain't got no good food, you should eat some pussy. That's good too. But anyway, I was sitting there and I was going, damn, I was making so much money off this shit. And I know good food and pussy is so wonderful, but you know, crackheads, I mean, they go without just to get crack. So I said, I'm just gonna try it one time. I just gotta try it one time because I just wanna know what it feels like. Cause if it's better than pussy and food, I don't know what to say. You know, now I see why I'm making money like this. And I looked around the house and was trying to find something. I ain't have no crack pipe, obviously. I didn't even have a weed pipe because I didn't smoke. And I looked around the house and I was trying to find something to smoke it with, and I couldn't find anything. And thank God, because most people that I know say if you had took that first hit, they call it chasing the dragon. You might not be the man you became, which some people don't feel like I became such a good man at all. So I don't know if that's a good example. But now we got fentanyl. You know, we had oxycodone and, you know, obviously Molly's and Xans and all of that crazy shit. But now we got fentanyl. And fentanyl, the drugs addicts that I knew that smoked crack, shot heroin, sniffed coke, and are now doing fentanyl say that is the worst drug in the world. So here's the public service announcement that we're gonna make careful. Because a lot of drugs these days, and let me back up for a second. When I was cooking crack and doing all of that crazy shit, I used to do all kinds of crazy stuff to try to make my shit stronger. So one of the things I used to do is I put food coloring in it. I put a little bit of red food coloring in it and we would turn the crack pink. And that shit was a sensation. I mean, people used to go crazy for that shit because they didn't know how I got like that. And I never really told anybody, so nobody knew what I was doing. But the reason I'm saying be careful is people do things to drugs. They're not regulated by the FDA. They're not regulated by, you know, any government agency or anything like that. So if you out there and you doing mollies and you doing MDA and you smoking, whatever you doing, you just got to know who is a trusted person to get whatever you getting from that is not doing something stupid, because that fentanyl shit ain't no joke, man. You know, they say that fentanyl is killing, I forgot what the number was. It was something like 80,000 people last year. Be careful, and to be honest with you, say no to drugs anyway, unless it's weed or alcohol. That's it for me. I'm your boy Double O, Kamp Nexx Entertainment. Again, special shout out, thank you to my dog, film guy Chris. We miss you, TP. You know, this is our second segment that we haven't had you here. I will probably put up something on Wednesday of next week to let you know if TP gonna have a funeral, if he don't show up to the next podcast. But yeah, and then lastly, again, thank you to film guy Chris for taking care of us, showing us the love. Always being available whenever I give him a call and I want to shoot something, whatever it is, whether it's you know, somebody or, oh no, actually, he don't do that. He don't do that, so never mind that. But I'm your boy again, Double O, Kamp Nexx Entertainment. Be on the lookout for our next segment, which is probably going to be a BMF segment. That's, if you don't know, again, it's Black Mafia Family. BMF has a show on, I believe it's Netflix, maybe. I want to say maybe Netflix. And that's 50 Cent producing that show. 50 got a lot of stuff going on, man. He's doing a great job. One more thing, it's funny. because I think 50 did a great job in Power, but a girl called me one time and asked me, did I see Get Rich or Die Trying? And I was like, yeah, I saw it, because if you haven't seen it, it's 50 Cent's, like one of his first movies. She asked me, did I see Get Rich or Die Trying? And I was like, yeah. She said, oh, he was so good in that. I said, bitch, he's playing a rapper that got shot. How much of a stretch is that? All right, it's your boy Kamp Nexx, 00. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for checking me out. And stay tuned, we'll be back. All right, so that's what I came up with, man. I just came up here, man, just to mess around a little bit, man.